Good evening, everybody. This is Beyond the Buzzer for what's today's date? Right, I'm getting old now.
It is 3/4/21, baby.
Yes, March 4th, 2021. I'm your host, Dane Thompson, checking with you tonight live here on I-95, Zingo Television, Blackjack TV, Facebook, YouTube Live, and anywhere here to sound my voice. But I can't do it alone for the next hour plus or so. Myself and to the man of the right, be the three-point conversion zone. The student of the game, Mr. Kyle Nash. How you doing, sir?
Let's make sure the 3-point conversion. That's right.
Yeah, I know. I get it all the time. We're going to discuss all the topics across the sports world with a little bit of humor as well, too. And before we get started, shout out our good friends in the corner, which is at Valor at its.valor.us for all things marketing, gifts, music, and marketing. And our good friends at Mentality Barbershop, 2611 North Pine Hills Road in Orlando, Florida, to get the best barbershop haircut you're going to find everywhere. Tell Corey and D always said hello as well. You know, Kyle.
Sir.
I hate to say this, but I was literally 5 minutes away from canceling the show tonight because Coming to America 2 is on Amazon right now.
Oh, really? You're in a real hurry to get disappointed, are you?
The hell you say?
No, the hell you say, sir. Oh, hell no, Your Majesty. Really? If that's one of your driving lines that you're trying to give me from the trailer to take this damn thing serious, I was already skeptical as hell. You got some of the main players back. That's cool and everything. But listen, y'all building this movie up trying to get your asses knocked down. You got to be careful, man. Go in here cautious with this movie.
Listen, we've waited, 30 years for this the sequel, if not even longer than that. I'm all for it.
No, okay. They waited 30 years to reach into your pocket and grab your cash, and the pandemic damn effed them up. That's all there is to it.
Well, hell, I got Amazon Prime anyway, so it's free.
Only because there's a pandemic, kid. Be smarter. You know this.
Listen,
you know that if there was no pandemic, they would be dragging that cash out your pocket at the box office. Don't play with me, Danny.
Hey,
Thompson.
listen. I can't say otherwise. But one thing I can say is, if you're in the comments of the chat tonight, you got your opinions, feel free to let me and Kyle know because we'll post them on the air and talk about them as well too.
This segue, I love this guy.
Hey, listen, you got to show love everywhere because guess what? The love of the week goes behind the guy that you have the biggest love and man crush for. We'll start with J.J. Watt and the Arizona Cardinals.
I know, right?
And yes, for those watching at home, I do not have my headset on tonight. So guess what? It is what it is. We got to start holding the week off for doing it right because J.J. Watt. Sources including that told J.J. Watt that he signed with the Arizona Cardinals. Who was source? Himself.
Source? Me, mother beep.
There's nothing better than a player announcing his own stuff before nobody else knew. Because the funny part about it was, and even in our group chat with the 3-point conversion, shout out to the entire team over there, the guys and girls over at 3pointconversion.com.
No doubt.
In our group chat, I had posted a photo. I think I posted a photo of KJ Watt's Peloton profile that had 3 teams because it was posted early that morning that had the Green Bay Packers, that had the Buffalo Bills, and it had, I want to say, was it Cleveland Browns, Kyle? I think it was the Cleveland Browns. And it says Super Bowl 56. Now, KJ Watt, we all thought was JJ Watt, but it actually wasn't a Watt. It wasn't a Watt light bulb. It wasn't 20 Watt. It wasn't 20 Watt. It wasn't even 20 Rock. It just so happens as the entire stream of football was starting to say, oh, J.J. Watt might be a Packer. He might be a Bill. He might go be a Cleveland Brown.
That was so ridiculous. Who the hell let that float?
Listen, it was on the status. No one said they were the Browns. It was on the status. J.J. Watt trolled all of us because maybe 2 hours later he posted a picture of himself working out with an Arizona Cardinals shirt on. Now, Kyle, I know, like I said, you're the J.J. Watt guy, but the first thing I saw when I've been hearing from this was, why Arizona?
So
you had other teams that would have went out there, and Arizona gave them 2 years at $31 million, and $24 million was guaranteed. Kyle, Let's speak from two different sides of logic. When you first saw J.J. Watt in Arizona, what was your first thought?
I did not see that coming, and my next thought was, well, I know what I'm getting for Christmas. So in all seriousness, I took the link to the tweet and I have a group text with my mom and my wife for, child care purposes and whatnot. And I said, there's no excuses this year. You both already know what I want.
So, Kyle, when you look at now, we've had about a couple of days to think about it. We have a couple of days to simmer on it, let it marinate. It's been in the crock pot of our brains for a few days. What are your thoughts on J.J. Watt and the Arizona Cardinals right now?
I don't think it makes football sense in the traditional sense that we want it to make football sense. Now, granted, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Arizona Cardinals didn't just get a butt ton better, right? We're talking a division where it's a toss-up on who the air quotes worst, and I say worst, which I should say least good quarterback is, right? Is it Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, or Garoppolo, right? Now, a lot of conventional wisdom would say it's Garoppolo, and I'm not going to argue with that. I'm willing to leave my Niner fanhood aside. I think if I'm asked to win a single game of those three quarterbacks, I don't know that I would pick Garoppolo depending on who the opponent is. But here's what I also know. If you got a division where the quarterback play is generally that good, the pass rush just got a lot more important. And as much as you like to pump up the overrated Chandler Jones, guess what? He just got more help anyway. So overrated don't mean bad. You got ends that are going to be pretty damn good overall. And oh, by the way, the Cardinals also happen to have a pretty good defense in the first place. Now, for people who want to examine the following, folks, J.J. Watt's a classy dude. Titan talk wasn't going to happen. I really don't think he wanted to play against the city of Houston twice, other than the front office of the Texans. All these talks about him possibly going to the Colts, I don't really think that was going to happen. What up, Mike? Good to see you, man. I honestly don't think that was going to happen. People talking about the Browns. Yeah, he's going to play against his brothers twice a year. No. Green Bay, listen, it's cold. Why would he do that? Why would he go to that trouble? And not to mention, what else is going on? Y'all forget he's got a rather attractive wife who's also a professional athlete. They want to be in a place where they could probably train year-round and keep their bodies right and prepared for their careers. Arizona can provide that. I think this was a life decision, not a football one. And damn it, the dude got the contract. I'm not going to argue.
You know what? I'll say this, and you make a lot of good points with it when it comes to this. I'll be honest with you. It's the interesting part when you mention about, JJ being close to his wife who does play professional soccer. It surprised me the Chicago Bears wasn't on the list because his wife plays the Chicago Red Stars in the NWSL. So that was a kind of a surprise thing, like you said, because when you have a husband and wife in a sports tandem, you would think they want to be closer in the same city.
And that makes sense until you recognize that the Bears right now as a franchise are just not smart. Sorry, folks. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I think of like this. The Bears didn't need J.J. Watt on defense.
Correct.
J.J. Watt doesn't throw the football. He doesn't catch the football. So going to the Bears would be.
I'm going to stop you there. He has caught the football.
Yeah, but he's not.
There was a particular season he had more touchdowns than the entirety of the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core. Let's not ever forget that, Danny Thompson.
I remember that. What I'm saying is, J.J. Watt, in his career, he's not Travis Kelce at this point in his career.
No, hey, listen. Joking aside, no, you're absolutely correct. I think that's a situation where Chicago may not have been interested. They probably have too much money committed to defense and are currently trying to recover from the mistake that was Mitchell Trubisky. Excellent point by you.
So when you think about this and people say, okay, why did he go to Green Bay? I mean, you would think, okay, yeah, the cold environment, the Wisconsin part is close to his wife. It's in Chicago, so it's not that far of a distance.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Watt played college football at Wisconsin. He was a stud at Wisconsin. Kind of finished a career kind of where you kind of go around circle, back to where it came from. Green Bay's got more issues than J.J. Watt right now.
Fair. Because
they got to figure out the quarterback situation. And when I say figure out is what they're going to do with Aaron Charles Rodgers, because Rodgers holds all the cards at this very point as we're having this conversation, as we're doing the show right now, because they have Jordan Love in the background. But if Aaron Rodgers, you just don't get rid of Aaron Rodgers just because, okay? Not after the year Aaron Rodgers had. You just don't give him away when he was basically the league's MVP.
I was about to say, it's not like he won the MVP. Oh, wait.
He did. You just can't give him away. But if Aaron Rodgers wants out, then you can kind of unload everything.
Well, and from hearing Aaron talk about it, Aaron Charles Rodgers, Aaron, like I'm saying it like he's my neighbor. Like, I don't really necessarily think he's trying to leave Green Bay. I really don't.
because Green Bay is right there. It's not like a Tom Brady situation where New England wasn't going to win anymore.
Right.
And he doesn't have weapons. Now Aaron Rodgers will complain about weapons. I think if they lose Aaron Jones to a team in Florida, Dolphins, you're going to start to see the bitching and complaining from Aaron Rodgers even more because they're going to take defense in the first round anyway. They're going to forget about Aaron Rodgers needing help. All right. The Buffalo Bills was a great spot for him. Listen, the Bills defense, all that talent defense, J.J. Watt would have been a great fit there. You mentioned Pittsburgh didn't have the money at that point in time to sign J.J. Watt, and I don't think J.J. even wanted to play in Pittsburgh with his brothers, even though that's kind of like the right thing to do. So why the Arizona Cardinals? Well, you mentioned said one overrated Chandler Jones, but Kyle, since 2011, J.J. Watt has a grand total, Kyle, of 101 sacks since 2011, which puts him second in the NFL in sack totals. Number one is Von Miller, 106. Kyle, number three is Justin Houston at 97.5. And guess who's number four? One overrated Chandler Jones at 97.
Sure, facing Seattle Seahawks O-lines twice a year is helpful.
And he missed the majority of last season.
That he did.
So if he actually played like Chandler Jones has been, he'd be top of this list right now.
I mean, let's take my ribbing of you and Chandler Jones off the table for a minute. Like, how many defensive ends have made a career of being on the other side of somebody great, right? I mean, do we know who Osi Umenyiora is if he's not across from Michael Strahan, for example?
But who's been across from Chandler Jones over the last 10 years?
Well, that's about to change.
J.J. Watt last year was double teamed more than any defensive lineman, defensive end in the NFL.
I believe it.
More double teams, not overall, because no one's close to Aaron Donald.
It's not going to happen, yeah.
Okay.
So he's only number two in double teams. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, so when you think about this, you look where you look at this. So you look in the comments, Sean Johnson in the chat. Big shout out to Sean over the Guys podcast on 75 days a week here on the Blackjack TV and the I-95 family. Chandler Jones does float on the radar because guess what? His brother's more popular than he is. His brother's John Jones of the UFC, so of course he flies on the radar.
And like that's a good evaluation, though. I'm not here to say he's a bad pass rusher. I'm not here for that. Very solid is a good description.
He's an elite pass rusher.
I can't say elite. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Well, I can. So you put Chandler Jones on one side and J.J. Watt, a guy who's been double teamed all season, on the other side. What that does in this division is you have two guys that are going to fly off the hip. Isaiah Simmons, great first-round pick last year. Budda Baker, the middle of the field is going to have a field day with opposing quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo, or whoever San Francisco quarterback isn't the most mobile. And now they went from Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford. You went from basically a Ford Pacer to a Ford Taurus. Neither one is going to outrun you in a run. Okay? And Russell Carrington Wilson, if he is still in Seattle, is going to be running for his said life even more.
Correct.
Okay. And Mike DeSantis made a great point. He feels like it's a great fit. He brings phenomenal leadership. Listen, JJ wants to win a Super Bowl. And Correct. What happens is when you have a younger quarterback in Kyler Murray, the best thing to have is a good defense. A good defense leads to a good offense. Short field positions lead to, big plays. Arizona was fourth in the NFL in sacks last year. J.J. Watt had another double-digit season last year. What I'm going to tell you, what's going to happen is, you don't think Chandler Jones was not receiving double teams last year? Guess what? Those double teams are going to go away. Those chip tight ends, they're going to have to flip sides of the field because you can't chip block Chandler Jones knowing you got J.J. Watt bull rushing you on the other end. Don't complain about J.J. Watt's health last year because he played over 90% of the snaps last year for a terrible Houston team last year.
Thank you.
We can stop with the injury concerns right now. And J.J. wants to show everybody in the league that he's still one of the best in the NFL. All right? He wants to show that he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. And I think with another 2 good years in Arizona, it's a good way to say it. And you know what? He also had encouragement. If you go back and read the reports, Chandler Jones was in J.J. Watt's DM box, DMing him throughout the offseason.
That's true.
What else happened? There's a former teammate over there named DeAndre Hopkins.
Something about finish what we started or something. Yeah.
Let's finish what we started.
I mean, and let's fast forward to this, Danny Thompson. Like, when it comes to people questioning, oh, Arizona's not a Super Bowl threat. Whatever are you talking about? Well, first of all, well, I think we can take a pretty safe guess in general that the only team out west that I feel like may make a significant leap forward would actually be the 49ers. No, I'm not saying that because I'm a homer. I'm saying that because they lost so damn much in injury last year and still did what they did in being a pretty darn tough team. Okay? If they can get, some sort of quarterback situation figured out, that's all good and well. And I think that would actually be the biggest competition at this point, right? We've seen the Rams kind of bungle their way to a certain places, and I feel like they're kind of in flux all over again. And then with Seattle, flux is their middle name. Unless I see some improvement in the offensive line, I'm not worried about them. The Cardinals have a very good chance to win that division should Special K, Kyler Murray, step up his game and all that other stuff. I don't see why that's relevant to anything, Rodney, because we're not talking about his brothers.
Well, no,
Go tell me about Teddy Bridgewater, whatever.
Well, no, just Rodney, go say it to John Jones's face, and let me tell you how the PED conversation will start and end.
Also, another fantastic question. I thought you were talking about J.J. Watt's brother, but you meant Chandler Jones's brother.
If you just say PEDs, that's always a reference to John Jones. All I'll say is Rodney, say it to his face, and I will put $1 American says you will receive an American back elbow.
Oh, hey, $1. Let's get him some Lou Williams lemon pepper wings. Damn.
No, because you can't talk about you can't eat the lemon pepper wings when you ain't got no teeth. Because John's going
they can be ground up into a fine paste that can be taken intravenously.
John's going to elbow the taste out of his mouth. Okay, and also everything else in between. All right.
Almost elbowed that beer out of my mouth. That was funny.
Exactly.
But the real thing I want to get to real quick is at the end of the day, what can they do to slow the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? What slows Tom Brady? A pass rush. What do they officially have? A pass rush. How does anybody survive against Tampa Bay's front? Mobility. Kyler Murray has it. I'm just saying, there's some there, folks.
Arizona was fourth in the NFL in sacks last year without J.J. Watt, and now they're impressed even more. The real question now in Arizona is that what they do with Patrick Peterson, who was not supposed to be scheduled to come back due to salary cap concerns. At this point, I think y'all kiss and make up and figure this part out, and you got to have him back at the one corner position. He might not have been as elite as he always been, but you still Patrick freaking Peterson. All right, it doesn't get any better. But when you look at how the NFC landscape has changed. It changed because J.J. Watt's now pass rushing for Arizona. Is Arizona going to win the Super Bowl?
Probably not.
I don't believe so just yet. But you have to realize that the competition factor makes them even different. Because what happens if, I don't know, a certain new quarterback joins the division, like a Dak Prescott, for example, in the NFC West? Let's just say, we talked about this last week, but let's just say Dakota Prescott gets exchanged for Russell Carrington Wilson. Because the Dallas Cowboys are in trouble right now because if you franchise Dak Prescott, he walks out the door next year unprotected. See you later. The Cowboys don't want to extend him.
Not for what he's asking. Here's the problem.
Go ahead,
you segueing very nicely. Here's the problem. I don't have a problem with paying one Dakota Prescott. I actually think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a little bit shafted because he should have won that playoff game. He did his job. And then Aaron Charles Rodgers went Aaron Charles Rodgers on his defense, drew up a damn play in the dirt and scored a touchdown to steal the game from him. Okay?
I blame Sean Johnson, by the way, but continue.
Fair. But what I'm trying to get to is this, my good friend. Dakota Prescott played in the clutch and did his job that year as I believe he was still a rookie, maybe second year at best. Okay? And no one wants to remember that. They just want to focus on the year before where his play may not have been as great. Then the past year where he got bleeding hurt. By the way, before he got hurt, he threw for 500 yards. Yeah, I know it was the Falcons defense, Danny, but still, 500 yards is 500 effing yards. I'm going to say it. Sean, you're beating me to it. I really wish Bobby would let me make my points before he puts your comments. No, I'm kidding. No, Sean, you're absolutely right. Dakota Prescott will not do well in Seattle because Russell Carrington Wilson has moments where even he's inspired somebody as smart as Danny Thompson to say that he's that he's falling off and not doing as well and certain things like that. You're looking back there because you thought Precious came on the camera for Bobby to say hi, didn't you?
No, because I'm still irritated. I'm still hurt over that 500-yard comment.
No, well, that wasn't at your expense, Pon. I didn't mean offense. I didn't say anything about 28-3.
Hello, Bobby.
He's laughing. You're not laughing. Something happened.
I mentioned 28-3. What more do you need, Bobby?
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that right?
Ooh.
Anyways, the punchline is this. Should one Dakota Prescott land in the division? In my opinion, you may.
No, I saw the Panthers playoff hopes dash before.
Oh!
I saw your Deshaun Watson hopes go across my eyes right now.
Oh, no. Now you're getting personal. I thought, well, anyways. No, but at the end of the day, I feel like if Dakota Prescott enters the division, you have the Cardinals possibly being the favorite there in that situation.
I can say this. I think Dak Prescott will be fine if he's in Seattle. I think he would be fine. Now, will you put the same numbers? Will you put the same numbers he did in Dallas? Of course not. That's just not how this works. But while I will say this, I don't think Dak Prescott goes into an average quarterback, but I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback either.
He certainly doesn't deserve Patrick Mahomes' money. $500 million is not a
there's not a quarterback in this league that gets Patrick Mahomes' money. That's it. And I'm a big fan of Lamar Jackson. I don't think that's even worth the money. What I'm saying is this. If Prescott went to Seattle, I think Dak still throws close to 30 touchdowns in Seattle. I think he does.
Gosh, I don't know, man.
Because of that receiving core. Because I think it might not be the Dallas receiving core, but DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are really, really good. Okay. David Moore is a really, really solid third receiver. It's not the same types of receivers there are in Dallas. I think Pete Carroll, one thing about Pete Carroll is that he's going to make sure that Dak Prescott's a game manager. So he doesn't have to do things like he did in Dallas. Okay. Dak Prescott had to win games in Dallas because guess what? Ezekiel Elliott forgot what running the football meant, and the Dallas Cowboys offensive line stopped blocking.
True. They got old.
And on top of that, the Cowboys stopped tackling on defense. So the only way you can match somebody scoring 40 points a game is throwing for 40 points a game.
I don't know. The only flaw in your plan and all that, Panda, is you're assuming that Russell Carrington Wilson isn't the reason your receiver core looks as good as you think it does. I'm sorry, but you're so high on Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. No, man, that ain't cool. Now, granted, does Dak face an upgrade at receiver as a receiver core in Seattle amongst the starters? Okay, fine. I'll give you that. Sean seems to disagree with you there. I'm afraid I cannot support that Dak has 3 starting receivers currently in Dallas. Not at all. I don't feel that at all. Now, granted, he's got some fine youth that got injected, but that's 2, not 3, in my opinion.
Here's the thing. The main 2 for Seattle is better than Dallas's 3.
Yeah, that I will, as much as I'm not as high on Lockett and Metcalf as you are, I will agree as a core with those 2 there, they are an improvement, 100%.
They're better than the Dallas 3, no offense. I mean, Amari Cooper only plays well against poor secondary members in the NFC East. You put him against a top flight corner, he does nothing. Okay.
But at this point, it's good enough to draw the other side to get busy.
Well, here's
the youth to get involved.
If we're looking at talent down the road, CeeDee Lamb has a chance to be a monster in this league. Okay,
my point.
We have that, but DK Metcalf is also not just a physical monster, a physical one, but try to catch DK Metcalf in the open field when he gets the ball. He is basically a truck to bring down. He's 240 pounds and he runs like a 4.3 40. We saw that play against the Arizona Cardinals last year, where Metcalf basically chased down a cornerback when he was 20 yards behind and walked him down. Metcalf has speed. Tyler Lockett is a way better receiver, hands-wise, than any of those receivers in Dallas. If I have to get a third down, Tyler Lockett's going to get me a third down more than Amari Cooper will. Okay? That's why I say the 2 is better, because Metcalf is a better big play than any of those guys. Lockett's much more effective. Amari Cooper puts up numbers, but it's mostly against NFC East teams.
And I'm seeing that the criticism that the Seattle's receivers disappeared down the stretch. No, they didn't. The defensive lines appeared in the backfield basically every snap. The offensive line is terrible. That's the part where Dakota Prescott is screwed. It's got nothing to do with the receiver core. Let's be clear about that.
But here's the other difference. Dak Prescott's playing in a different division with different defenses as well, too.
Better defenses.
Way better defenses. Because think about this. There's not a defense in the NFC East. We're talking Philadelphia, the Giants, or that other team in the division, the Washington football team. Actually, the Washington football team is really good.
The Red Tails at least have Chase Young and a good supporting cast there.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
That's one. But the rest, the NFC West, you got to deal with a healthy San Francisco team. That's top 5 defense. Okay. Seattle, for as much malign they do, when they are on, they're on. They're just hit or miss. Okay. And then you look at the LA Rams, they got to deal with.
Hi, Precious. Oh, there it is. Bing.
All right. So when I say that, it's like you got 3 elite defenses in the NFC, 2 elite defenses in the NFC West and a half a defense. Okay, with Seattle. In the NFC East, it's one elite defense and a bunch of.
I mean, are we ready to call the Skins elite yet? I don't know. They're good, but anyways, Bobby, what's up?
That's a pretty legitimate awe moment by Ronnie there. No,
that was okay. He has his moments.
He's got an awe.
Hey, that's why he's our favorite troll.
Here's the thing, because Rodney's got something coming later. Don't worry. It's the calm before the storm. Sean, yes, they broke 1,000 yards because they were down the majority of the season. You got to do something because your running back didn't get 1,000 yards. It seems like Zeke hater.
Wow.
All I'm saying is this: Dak's gonna have different defenses to deal with. All right, but the good news is in Seattle, he doesn't have to throw 60 times a game either. That's the difference. Because Seattle actually tries to commit to run the football, unlike Mike McCarthy, who forgot that he has Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield and is supposed to be feeding this man.
Well, or has Ezekiel's play inspired McCarthy not to feed him? Let's be fair, man. Listen, McCarthy's made a lot of mistakes. I don't know if taking the ball out of Zeke's hands is one of them.
And letting Andy Dalton try to win games with something else.
That's called desperation.
All right.
Hey, Garrett Gilbert almost beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Mike McCarthy's defense. I'm just saying.
Kyle, you can't say that with a straight face either. Also,
you see me laughing. I'm talking about the desperation in Dallas. Tell me I'm wrong.
Because Dallas is in desperation mode because it's either you extend this man or you're going to watch him walk away. It's one of the two. I mean, and it's one of the rare times that a player actually is in control of the situation. Because guess what? The Cowboys got one of 2 choices. Dak's going to get his money. Either he gets it now or he gets it later.
It's just a matter of from whom. I hear you on that. And by the way, as much as we are pontificating and having a good conversation as you're supposed to on a show such as Beyond the Buzzer, okay, let me be clear about one thing. Russell Wilson is not going anywhere. This is all posturing. This is all smoke.
Listen, this is all posturing for this man. He's posturing for an offensive line, okay? He is politicking to get an offensive line. The poor man's tired of running for his life.
Yeah.
Right? He is tired of running all the time, okay? I don't blame him. That man ran more than Patrick Mahomes did in the Super Bowl. Okay?
Hey, by the way, I heard that Russell Wilson might be starring in a couple of years, starring in a remake of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called The Running Man. Anyways.
Listen, he was doing the running man in the backfield all season this year, okay? Right? I don't mean the dad see that he was really running for his life last year. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a hard thing to realize. I know Sean's saying his PTSD is kicking in about Zeke, but listen, 18 months ago, you were saying Ezekiel Elliott was probably the best running back in football 18 months ago.
I wasn't, but people were. Yes.
Yeah, but Mike McCarthy has turned him into an average running back.
We're blaming that on McCarthy?
Kyle,
I'm asking.
Kyle, you have played football. You have won championships in football. A lot of these people in chat have not, but you have won a championship. Kyle, if you know Ezekiel Elliott is good for 1,500 yards on the ground, even with a mediocre offensive line that got a little bit worse because of loss and injuries,
age and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Until the offensive line can't block anymore, I'm pretty sure you're going to feed this man on a regular basis.
Not if he's fumbling the damn football.
Listen, Ezekiel, but Zeke is a rhythm running back. He's got to get touches. He's got to get touches throughout the game. And yes, he did have fumble problems. So did Tiki Barber. It is what it is.
Okay, well, hey, let's hire the guy that got Tiki right, and we'll move from there.
Listen, I mean, get rid of Mike McCarthy and give him some Texas ribs with some stick 'em in, everything will be all right.
I mean, listen, now you're just being logical. I'm not.
Speaking of logic and being logical, yes, it is time for logic section, Eden, because when you think of logic, you think of Akeem. All right, let's speak.
Once again, you have guessed correctly.
Speaking of logic, tonight the NBA draft lottery was the NBA draft All-Star draft was tonight, and so logic took control of the draft tonight. As we'll show the rosters in a couple moments, LeBron James and Kevin Durant made their NBA draft choices tonight for the All-Star game that's going to happen on Sunday, and in the oddest All-Star weekend in history.
Yeah, that ain't an argument, fool.
I'm going to call All-Star weekend. I'm going to call it All-Star Day.
Yes,
for those who aren't keeping track at score, this is how the All-Star game works, and we'll get to the picks, and then we'll talk about the skills competition in a few minutes. It's All-Star Sunday. So at 5 p.m. on TNT, you got the beginning part of the All-Star game. Hey, everybody get to go walk red carpet, blah, 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 blah. You have the skills competition starting right at 6:30, which leads into
Alex, the details.
Which leads into the skills competition, Kyle. The 3-1 competition. After the skills competition, the game starts at 8. The dunk contest is at halftime, and it's only limited to a certain amount of time, thank God. And then we have
I'm sorry, dude. I wasn't ready for that.
Listen. All right, so we know what we're going to start with the draft itself. So it's Kevin Durant, LeBron James. LeBron's been a captain everywhere that you're going to find. Every season they've done this draft, the Pick'em draft, LeBron's been a captain. And this year, for the first time, it's not been Giannis as the other team's captain. It's actually Steph Curry had it 1 year, and now it's Kevin Durant this year. The problem with the draft tonight was Kevin Durant was picking, but he's not playing.
Right.
So, with LeBron James having the first overall pick and Team Kevin Durant being down Kevin Durant, to those who see the rosters, it is what it is. So how the draft works for those who are scoring at home is the fans vote for the starters. So that's considered round 1. So the 2 captains get to pick between the 8 players that are fan voted. All right. The coaches pick the reserves, and then how the second half of the draft works is the person who doesn't pick first gets to pick first for the reserves. So LeBron James picked first. Kyle, I'm gonna go pick by pick in the first round, and I'm gonna see what your thoughts are. Actually, I'm gonna go through the starters first and who's on this list. So I see Team LeBron first. LeBron had the first overall pick, and he took Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks with the first overall pick. As you get to the second, it is also his team as well. He picked with the third overall pick. He picked Steph Curry. At 5th, he picked Luka Doncic, and then he picked Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets with the final pick of his picks. If you go to Kevin Durant's side, Durant did pick first, and he chose his teammate Kyrie Irving first. Took Joel Embiid with his second pick, Kawhi Leonard with his third, Bradley Beal was fourth, and Jason Tatum, who was picked by Adam Silver to be a starter. He technically wasn't picked. He was just thrown last because he was the last one available.
Right.
All right. So, Kyle, as we go back to both of us on the screen, LeBron picked Giannis first. Now, knowing he saw the pool of players, would you have gone Giannis first, or would you have gone a different direction?
I can see why Bron went Giannis first, right? I mean, he's getting that guy that's going to go in there and pose that threat on the big side. You know, maybe Bron's looking to do some point forward action. Now, I can make a perfectly good argument that his first choice should have actually been Steph, so he could have someone chuck it from the cheap seats while he goes bees LeBron elsewhere, elsewhile. But I'm not knocking picking Giannis in this particular scenario. It's I mean, granted, pardon my bias in myself being Greek, but you know, I mean, he is a two-time NBA MVP, is he not?
He's also a defensive player of the year too.
I mean, now you're just breaking it down for me, bro.
So Kevin Durant picked first. Now, see, for me, I love troll moments, and LeBron James had the perfect chance to do the perfect and ultimate troll moment. What do you mean by that? He could have took Kyrie Irving first, killed all the rumors about those two hating each other. It would have just been great all-star comedy.
Except I don't think Brown want to play with.
I'm just saying, okay? We've seen weirder things in All-Star games. We remember Shaq and Kobe was in the All-Star team and split the All-Star MVP in Phoenix a few years ago.
Fair.
All right? Where Shaq danced with the Jabberwockies. Great All-Star performance, by the way. So Kevin Durant picked first. And of course, he picked his teammate Kyrie Irving, which basically made sense because they're teammates. Can you imagine, Kyle, if you had a chance to pick me for a radio draft and you didn't, the expression I would have gave you?
Oh, you'd still be bitching. Like, that would be 28-3 joke face I would get.
All right. So you
sorry.
No last hold. All right. So you mentioned the fact that you thought LeBron was going to take Steph at number 2 with his first overall pick. He ended up getting Steph at number 3. I think that's pretty well obvious. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Now, mind you, if this was 2K and you're playing 2K and you're playing against Giannis, Steph Curry, and Giannis with LeBron, you're hanging, you're rage quitting right then and there. All right. You're just stopping the game right there. All right. So with Kevin Durant's second pick, he had to figure, man, I can't let LeBron get Joel Embiid either. Because
that's total domination.
Yeah, I mean, so KD went with Embiid, which made sense. Now it really came down to that fourth pick, which was interesting to me because LeBron had a couple players on the board. Was he going to take Jason Tatum? Was he going to take? Was he going to take Nikola Jokic? Or I mean, was he going to take Kawhi Leonard? He ended up taking Luka Doncic. So now you got Steph and Luka basically in the backcourt with LeBron and Giannis. Help us all. With the third overall, with the Durant's third pick, he ended up going Kawhi Leonard. LeBron had to get a center because otherwise Embiid was going to score 90 in this non-defense playing game. He went and got Nikola Jokic, and Durant got the last two guys, which meant Jason Tatum and Bradley Beal. All right. Looking at the starting group, I guess it's kind of unfair to say LeBron won the first round because of the fact that Kevin Durant's not playing. All right. Kyle, if you swap Kevin Durant for Jason Tatum, Durant's team is him, Bradley Beal, Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, and Kawhi Leonard. I think it makes the game a little bit better.
I agree.
Starter-wise. All right, Bobby, back to the rosters. Second round starts and Kevin Durant has the first overall pick. So guess what he does? He picks his teammates. James Harden goes first in the second round, which makes perfect sense because guess what, Kyle? They're teammates.
And now Bobby's excited.
Yes, because the Nets players are all on the same team like they haven't done for the last 25 games of the season. By the way, they haven't. All right. So with Kevin Durant, with LeBron James's first pick in the second round, LeBron ended up taking Hey, Bobby, switch back over to LeBron. He ended up going Damian Lillard, as he says, the most disrespected player in the NBA with his first overall pick. As we go back to Giannis, I think I can remember the rest of the draft. Giannis goes Devin Booker, and then LeBron goes Chris Paul. Ben Simmons. There was Zion, Chris Paul, and then as you see the rosters going back and forth, with the final two picks being, Kyle, ironically, the two players from the best team of the NBA, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, picked last.
I was about to say, if we're talking about anyone getting disrespected, it's Donovan Mitchell, right? I mean,
I'll say that Donovan Mitchell went after Zach LaVine and Jaylen Brown. I was surprised by that.
I was too.
Hey, listen, big shout out to Nikola Vucevic for not being picked last. All right.
True. And hey, by the way, anybody notice where most of the centers are? That's interesting.
Well, technically, they kind of split the centers because each conference does have one center apiece, two centers apiece. So it was a pretty good split otherwise. Now, if you look at the two rosters and you look at how it's shaped, like I said, it's kind of unfair because Kevin Durant's not playing in this game. But Kyle, as I look at this and look at the rosters, I will say this. If the game gets down to a 3-point shooting contest,
oh boy,
Kevin Durant's team has got more shooters than LeBron James' team does. All right. Yes, Steph Curry is on the team LeBron. Okay, we understand that. But when Team Durant throws out Kyrie Irving, who can shoot the ball at a high clip, Zach LaVine is shooting 42% from behind the three-point line. You got Devin Booker, who's in the three-point competition as well, and Donovan Mitchell, who's having a huge number, big year. Vucevic can hit from the three-point line. Embiid can hit from the three-point line. It could be 3-pointers anywhere. All right. And besides, Team LeBron has Ben Simmons, and he ain't shooting no 3-pointer.
No, he is not.
You know what?
No, Doc. No, Doc.
I know stuff. Over under on Ben Simmons taking a 3-point shot on Sunday.
Taking or making? What's that?
Attempting.
Over or under? 3.
All right. I feel like Team Durant's going to let Ben Simmons stay so wide open, they're going to make him shoot the 3 because he's that wide open.
So you think he'll get his 3 based on that?
Listen, I'm not saying he's going to make it. I say he's going to attempt it.
No, I'm saying, do you think he'll take those 3 attempts because he's left that wide open?
I think after the first one, he won't take a single attempt again. If he bricks horribly, if he airballs, he ain't shooting again. All right, so Rodney, oh man. I mean, at least I was invited to the draft.
Hey, listen, but Rodney, when it comes to trolls, you are in the top echelon, my friend.
He's not even a Division III mascot when it comes to the troll award.
Actually, I meant to ask you about this. Alex brings up a good point. Is anybody from Atlanta invited or playing? Like the lack of a Trae Young even being mentioned is very peculiar to me.
I don't think Trae Young is already in the All-Star game.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at how the Eastern Conference was put together, I think Trae had some kind of argument for it. And Mike, I know it's not a disrespect to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum isn't Kevin Durant.
True.
If Jason Tatum was a reserve, different story. Because Jason Tatum would have been balling in this game. It would have been a great pick in the second round. The problem is Jason Tatum is replacing Kevin Durant. Okay? No disrespect. And besides, I don't think Tatum should have been an All-Star anyway, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Wow, man, you're raining thunder here.
I didn't think Jason Tatum was an All-Star. To be honest with you, I don't know how Boston got 2 All-Stars in the first place. Boston's not even 500.
Well,
in the original All-Star selection, Domantas Sabonis wasn't even an All-Star. That's my issue. I would have rather seen Bam Adebayo in the All-Star game. I thought had better numbers. Even Tobias Harris, the Sixers had better numbers. If we really want to play the front court game. Jaylen Brown was an All-Star, but Jason Tatum, not feeling that one. All right. So to answer Alex's question, Trae Young will like a lot of players. If they weren't
before you get going, like if Atlanta was going to send somebody, it would be Trae Young, right? Like we're all in agreement there.
It would have been Trae Young, yes.
Okay.
If Trae was playing in the game, he'd be in the 3-point contest on before the game. If I'm Trae Young and I ain't playing in the game Sunday, I ain't got nothing to do with that building on Sunday. All right. That's why the skills competitions will show the lineup is full of all-stars because guys weren't flying in for COVID. All right. Bobby, let's start with the skills competition. That's going to be the first bill Saturday night, and then we'll look at the six, and then we'll talk about the winners. So you got Luka Doncic, who's an all-star, playing for the Dallas Mavericks. Chris Paul, the Phoenix Suns, who's an all-star. Nikola Jokic, Orlando Magic, all-star. Domantas Sabonis, all-star. Julius Randle, all-star. And Robert Covington, the Portland Trail Blazers. All right. So for those who know Robert Covington, he's the only player in the NBA, Kyle, out of 412 players that came from a historically black college or university, which all the money and proceeds of this game is going to. He's the only one. You got to have the only representative in the whole entire league do something. All right. So, Kyle, we'll pick winners of these competitions, and then we'll talk about who's going to win. So, Kyle, let me explain how this works. How it normally works in most years is the guards go against the guards and the forwards go against the forwards. In this type of format, Robert Covington, I think, will be considered as a forward, and Julius Randle will be considered a front court player, a guard, and Randle's a front court player. So, Kyle, out of these 6, and now, mind you, the Big has actually won a lot of these contests.
Mm-hmm.
Out of these 6 players, who do you think will win the skills competition?
I don't listen, man. I can make a heck of an argument, probably for Randle or even Vooch, but for some reason, man, I can't get my mind off of Luka taking this home.
All right. Domantas Sabonis had a great performance last year in this contest, but to me, I think Robert Covington actually wins it. Listen, that'd be
great to see too, man. Like I've seen a little of him. He's good. I'm not taking anything away. I need more. I need to see more film, so to speak. I'm putting my football analyst hat on for that.
No problem. I worry about Luka's shot in this contest because you got to hit one, and Luka's got the. He's not. I don't know. Now, mind you, if he does a step back 3-pointer, then it's going to go in. But the sleeper I have in this contest, Kyle, is a guy like Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. Kyle, he's your type of player. Bobby can put us back on the screen. He's your type of player, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that doesn't get the love that he deserves. He's put up numbers. And he's made a team in the biggest market in the NBA relevant.
Yeah, of course. Well, you heard me mention him as somebody who got mentioned from me here.
Yeah, but he's your type of player because Kyle, he does all the things you want him to do. He scores, he rebounds, he leads the Knicks in scoring, rebounding. I think he leads them in assists as well too from the power forward spot.
That's ridiculous. I can't. Wow.
And
assists? I didn't know that.
Julius Randle's averaging over 6 assists a game this year from
insane.
the power forward spot.
That's awesome.
I love Vucevic's contest as well too, but I think I'm gonna go with Rocco because he's the only guy from HBCU in this contest. All right, let's now go to I think the best competition of the night, which is the 3-point competition, which will be before tip-off. All right, Bobby. At least now, mind you, it's normally an 8-man competition this year. It's 6. All 6, Kyle, are all All-Stars. Headlined by Steph Curry, who's looking to make up for his poor performance in Charlotte during the All-Star weekend in his home building. Devin Booker's who's won an All-Star competition. Donovan Mitchell's in this contest. Zach LaVine of the Chicago Bulls, and the dynamic duo of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. All right, Kyle, who would you put your money on this contest?
Well, it ain't Steph Curry because the dude chokes in the clutch. So I'm going Donovan Mitchell myself.
The underrated man himself, the guy who's willing to prove something. Listen, Mitchell is having his best year behind the 3-point line. I can't go argue with that. Steph Curry is everybody's favorite to win this contest. And like your point, he's not going to win. I love Devin Booker because I remember one night watching Devin Booker warm up. Kyle, he hit 28 3-pointers in a row, like rack style. I saw him.
For me, he's the biggest threat to my Donovan Mitchell pick. In my opinion.
I'll say this. And Devin Booker has the single highest score, Kyle, in the competition's history in one round with 28.
That's better than Mark Price.
That's better. That's better than Craig Hodges and Larry Bird.
There you go.
But my pick to win is a guy my pick to win is also a first-time All-Star. No, it's not Donovan Mitchell. I'm taking the Bulls' Zach LaVine.
I thought you might.
Listen, LaVine's 50, 40, 85 this year, Kyle, from the guard position. All right? 50% shooting from the floor, over 40% from the on deep, 85% from the line. Like Donovan Mitchell, Zach LaVine doesn't get very much respect around the league. And I was actually surprised that LaVine made the All-Star game over Trae Young because he's Zach freaking LaVine. Okay? LaVine gets drilled for a lot of things, but Kyle, one thing you can't say he can't do is he can put that ball in the basket because he's averaging almost 30 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I expect Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to basically have the combined score of Devin Booker in the first round. All right. Now we're going to the competition that I don't even know why we're even having this. Because, Kyle, before we show the contestants for the dunk contest, which is at halftime, and be glad this is only halftime, but this shit shouldn't take long. Excuse my language. Let's talk about everybody who turned down not being in this dunk contest, Kyle. Let's start from the very top. Defending champion Derrick Jones, Zach LaVine, he's shooting 3-pointers. I don't think he wants to dunk anymore. All right. We already had his rematch with Aaron Gordon, who is not competing in the dunk contest because of Dwayne Wade.
Let's just say Dwayne Wade was the final straw. How about that?
All right. So there's no Aaron Gordon in this contest. But Kyle, guess who else turned down the opportunity? Jaylen Brown turned it down of the Boston Celtics. Zion Williamson was like, not really. Miles Bridges of the Hornets was like, no, don't feel like doing this either. Basically, the NBA got the scrape of the barrel for the dunk contest. No offense to the 3 guys in the dunk contest this year. But Kyle, in the famous world of sodas, okay, you got Coke, Pepsi, and you have Czech soda. They went and got the Czech soda of dunkers in the contest this year.
You didn't even give them RC Cola. You went right to Czech, bro.
I skipped Aldi in this contest, okay? They went straight Czech soda for this one, okay? All right. And Bobby can show the 3 contestants on the screen. I will clue you in on these 3 contestants, Kyle, because guess what? You might not know who they are because 90% of the country doesn't know who they are.
I really don't. You got me on this one. As much as I've been studying, man, you beat me here.
No problem. So Cassius Stanley, rookie from the Indiana Pacers, a kid with a 43-inch vertical leap, played at Michigan State, has super, super hops. Just doesn't get much playing time because he's stuck behind some guy named Malcolm Brogdon, who should have been an All-Star candidate. You got the guy who was a National Player of the Year last year in college basketball, one Obadiah Toppin of the New York Knicks, otherwise known as Obi Toppin, or Obi 1 Toppin. All right. Yes, because he wears number 1 jersey as well, too. Knicks power forward, reminds you a lot of Amari Stoudemire, big power dunker. All right. And Kyle, Mike DeSantis beat me to the point. Anthony Simons, Kyle, from Orlando. Yes, he went to high school in Orlando, actually played his college ball over at IMG. Anthony Simons, who is named after Penny Hardaway, is in the dunk contest. He plays high school ball. Oh, God, where did he play high school ball in Orlando? I think he played at Jones. He played Edgewater. Anthony played at Edgewater, Kyle, before he went to IMG. Was supposed to go, and now he's with the Portland Trailblazers. So you have the hometown Orlando kid in the dunk contest. Not sure what kind of dunks he's going to pull off, but hey, he's from Orlando. So Kyle, not knowing half these guys, I got a feeling who you're going to pick, Kyle. So who are you going to pick?
I don't know any of these guys. I'm in a place, I'm going to get Cassius Stanley on this, simply because, like you mentioned, he's a guy that's got talent, but he's stuck behind somebody who's ahead of him on the depth chart that's really good too. Obi-Wan there playing for the Knicks, I'm going to say no. And I mean, listen, I'm the one person in Orlando that didn't care for Penny Hardaway. What can I say? I wanted him to keep Chris Webber, but
listen, I think for me, Anthony Simons is the guy. I mean, he's the kid that left out of high school, play at Edgewater. Good. I've interviewed him during the draft process. He's an extremely, extremely good kid.
Nice.
And Kyle, he has a lot of talent. But just as bad as behind Cassius Stanley, here's the problem. Anthony Simons will have a hard time playing in the NBA in Portland. Why? He's stuck behind 2 of the best guards in the NBA, which include guys like, I don't know, some guy named Damian Lillard, and another guy named, I don't know, CJ McCollum. Okay? 2 guys that play the most minutes in the NBA at the guard position. Have fun with that. So the guy I'm going to take Cassius Stanley. No offense. I know Cortland picked Obi.
Hey, Cortland picked Steph to win the threes too. What does he know? Listen,
I don't know if Cortland's showing his Knick fandom because he's from New York. I don't know, Rodney. I think he's some rapper will drop an Obi Toppin bar.
I would love that too, Rodney. That's a good ass point.
Anthony Simons is a good kid, like I said. But I said Cassius Stanley's got a 43 in his vertical leap. But Kyle, the good news is it's only 3 dunkers, and this shouldn't take long. So at this point, Kyle, this is the part of the show where you go put your kid to sleep, go grab some Snapple, even go fix a frozen pizza, and get ready for the second
half. Get that DiGiorno going.
I mean, listen. Like I said, no offense to the dunkers, but the NBA really scraped for this one. Like they really scraped for this one. Like you could have almost canceled it at this point. None of the guys wanted
a pandemic. None of the guys wanted to do the damn game. I mean, let's be honest,
Kyle. But nobody wanted to step foot in Atlanta to do a dunk contest. Okay.
Yeah, true.
I just want to imagine how a dunk contest looks for 3,000 fans. Like, do you need crowd involvement? I mean, what are you going to do? Throw it off a mascot? I'm not sure what they're trying to do.
They're going to do it like they're at Rucker Park or whatever, and get that dude with the mic and the speaker, the hype man.
Even having those people at Rucker Park is still going to be louder than Atlanta. As well as
that's true. Cortland makes a good point. By default, Aaron Gordon is still the winner.
Aaron Gordon should have 2 dunk championships by now. All right, that's all. Damn, Dwayne Wade. Can't stand Dwayne Wade. All right, Kyle. Before we get to our favorite segment, which is Mount Rushmore, let's go over a couple of big sports topics of the day. Just a quick little hit. Otherwise known as the hit segment, NHL style. Big Ben signs new contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers to get extended. Mike DeSantis, don't you even say that in my show's chat ever again. All right, I don't want to see that comment again.
What happened?
Bobby, show it. Bobby, of course, you're cute.
There he is. Doesn't Atlanta?
I thought we were friends here. And now, crowd noise in. You've been hanging around Rodney too long, okay? And don't you put Gary Coleman on the screen.
What you talking about? What you talking about, Danny?
Exactly. Big Ben signed a new contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers, guaranteed return for next year. The numbers weren't disclosed. I guess Pittsburgh's thinking that we're trying to win a Super Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger.
I mean, what choice do they have? It's Mason Rudolph or Duck. Moving on.
Or how about you go sign a quarterback?
Danny Thompson makes funny jokes.
Dwayne Haskins, baby.
I mean,
So
yeah,
you're
but
telling me Pittsburgh's calling Cordell Stewart to play?
stop it.
Could
You
be.
leave Slash out of this, you son of a.
Is Pittsburgh calling Bubby Brister Neil O'Donnell?
Did you just say Bubby Brister? Now you're just being hateful.
He just said Dwayne Haskins on this show.
He was being silly. I could tell. You're just being hateful.
Dwayne Haskins is their backup quarterback.
Bobby's a Nets fan. I make fun of him all the time. Why would I pay? Sorry.
I mean, Pittsburgh has a better chance of Manti Te'o actually tackling somebody, a real person.
Oh no, Manti Te'o smack! Holy snap!
Exactly. Pittsburgh has lost it. So guess what? Les Miles is in trouble with LSU over some scandal. You know what? They ain't fired him yet.
Well, I mean, the Jayhawks have enough issues. Now they have another one. We'll leave it at that.
Here's the thing. Kansas had to know about Les Miles' past at LSU when it comes to indiscretions with co-ed. Might as well call Tommy Gunn from Rocky as well too.
That's
all right. Kansas had to know about the indiscretions from LSU. This is because Kansas isn't the New York Mets when it comes to figuring out what happens with people in power and indiscretions.
Oh boy.
I'm a Mets fan. I can get away with this.
Yes, you can. That's true.
Is Les Miles going to get fired? Listen, Les Miles will get fired for what he's put on that field at Kansas anyway. All right. Don't fire him for what he did on the field. Fire him for what he did off the field. He should never have the job in the first place. Now it's going to come to the light now. All right. And the Buffalo Bills offer a new proposal for head coaches being hired in the NFL. Listen, no matter what proposal we get for hire coaches in the NFL, they're going to find ways to avoid African-American candidates. We've already talked about this enough in the show. I don't know if I talk about it tonight. African-American candidates will get bombarded and basically they'll get disregarded and not paid attention to. Because, Kyle, how funny is that? Because I'll go to the NBA. How did the Minnesota Timberwolves hire an assistant coach of the Toronto Raptors, right? When they had a guy who had been interviewed for NBA jobs for the last 4 years in David Vanderpool, the players wanted him as head coach, and they didn't even listen. Now, there's the Timberwolves, by the way. Bobby, welcome to the show, sir.
Any thoughts? I want to get serious for one quick second before we get to the silliness of
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Any thoughts on the Creighton coach? What he said?
He should have been fired. For those who don't know, Creighton head coach, Doug McDermott's dad. I forgot his name because it's not even relevant at this point. Made a comment after Creighton's win about players staying at home on the plantation and mentioned it more than once in the post game with his team. Long story short, yes, he should have been fired. It's very simple. When you tell African American, just players in jail to stay on the plantation, like what kind of foolishness is that? And the fact that the half-hearted apology, which we all know he ain't right himself anyway. All right, there's nothing worse in sports than an apology that comes from not the person speaking it, but from the university as a representative. I don't want to see quotes. I actually want to see your face as you say it. All right, very simple. All right, he should have been gone a long time ago. Like that some things. Exactly, Beep. Exactly. That's Bobby's new version of Beep, by the way. All I'm saying is he should have been fired. I don't care. They said the players said that they wanted him to coach the rest of the season. What players did they ask? Did they ask the mascots? Did they ask the student managers? Because I'm sure if you have African-American players and knowing this situation, I'm sure the parents had something to say about this. But to make sure nobody gets fired at this point, and especially since Creighton has a chance to go deep in the NCAA tournament right now, nobody's boat's getting rattled. It's sad to say this in sports nowadays that coaches can say what they want to and not get fired. Mike, you know what? How does it still happen? I couldn't even tell you because I'm so over this by now, and nothing surprises me anymore. It doesn't. And nothing surprises me how universities or coaching organizations act when it comes to swift things like this. It doesn't happen. Okay. All right. It took literally I'm a Mets fan, but you tell me the GM with all the indiscretions he had with women and other franchises still got a job. He gets the job with the Mets because he's a great person. And what happens? It comes to light and the Mets say, oh, we didn't know what happened. By the way, Terry Francona and others were doing the same foolishness. It's culture by the Mets. It makes everything look bad. It doesn't surprise me. But I will say this: if that was an African, and speaking of coaches getting fired this week, Lloyd Pierce got fired this week by Atlanta Hawks. Thank you, Kyle, Bobby, for reminding me of that. And let me speak on Lloyd Pierce as well too. Lloyd Pierce was given 2.5 years by the Atlanta Hawks to try to change the franchise around. His first year, he drafted Trae Young. Atlanta was trash. It is what it was. Last year, John Collins gets suspended for PEDs, missed 25 games, and the Hawks go straight in the toilet. Lloyd Pierce, one of the few guys in the NBA, especially during the social injustice, that spoke out about what was going on with social injustice. Atlanta was the very first site to have voting inside of an NBA arena with State Farm Arena. Okay. He was also one of the leaders when it came to race relations with going on between the races and also the NBA as well, too. Problem was, Lloyd Pierce also dealt with a team full of injuries this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, DeAndre Hunter's having his best season of his career. Guess what? Got hurt, missed 14 games. Bojan Bogdanovic, a guy they brought in from the Sacramento Kings to be another scorer for Trae Young, he got hurt 8 games into the season and missed 25. Danilo Gallinari, Rajon Rondo, veterans they brought in to help out, they've been hurt. Rondo is still playing from 2 years ago, and Danilo Gallinari is finally now getting healthy. Chris Dunn, who they brought in, hasn't played 1 minute. Onyeka Nwanku, the 6th overall pick, guess what? He missed the first part of the season and is now catching up. Lloyd Pierce goes 14-20, gets fired, but guess what? He'll have a hard time getting another job, even though Greg Popovich, among others in the coaching fraternity, felt like this was an outrage. It is what it is. The sad part is being an African-American head coach in sports, you don't get most of the second opportunities. And Rodney makes a great point. Brian Flores will get fired in Miami soon. I hope that's not the case.
I don't think that's the case either.
I hope it's not the case.
I mean, speaking of that, like I was covering the Dolphins pretty close when he got hired. For him to have made the movings and shakings that he did and what machinations took place under his watch, the fact that the Dolphins are relevant currently is still him. Remember, he's got a 5-year contract. I have every reason to believe that he will last that contract for one reason and one reason alone. He's outperformed every coach that's preceded him since, I don't know, friggin' Jimmy Johnson. Kyle,
remember, we had the same situation in Detroit too with Jim Caldwell. And they got him right out the door as well, too.
True, but I don't think Miami's that dysfunctional. In the case of the Lions,
here's a question.
They've been a bad franchise for a while. You know what I mean?
Here's one question I want to present to you, and then we'll transfer to Mount Rushmore. And I think Cortland might. I believe the court. I agree with you guys on this one. But if Brian Flores goes relatively, if the Dolphins go relatively healthy next year, no injuries, no major injuries, Tua's playing, and they go 3-13, you think Flores keeps his job?
They will not go 3-13, but let's say that happens.
Hypothetically speaking, they go 3-13, with no major injuries. They just play terrible all year.
That would be his 4th year, right?
Yep, of a 5-year rebuild. Does he get to year 5 if he goes 3-13 with a healthy team?
God, that's here's the thing with a healthy team. Thank you for adding that too, by the way. With that squad they got, they should really be better than 3-13.
But Kyle,
at that point, the reason why I'm good with it, if he does get fired, there's got to be some incompetence somewhere. That happens, man.
That's my point. He can go 3-13. I'm saying, the question is, because Cortland has said, and I think I agree, Brian Flores is safe, but we always want to play the situation. Mm-hmm. If he went 3-13, Kyle, he'd probably be shown the door. Now, if he had an injury-plagued year, like let's say like the 49ers had or the Eagles had 2 years ago, where they're basically playing grocery store employees at major skill positions, then he might get a pass. But if the Dolphins are relatively healthy, I think he gets fired at 3-13.
Well, and I think expectation matters, right?
Like the Dolphins are expected to win the NFC East or be the AFC East.
Oh, I don't know about winning it, but competitive in it, damn straight.
But are you telling me they shouldn't finish second in the division next year?
No, I'm not at all. That's exactly what I'm saying.
They should be a playoff team next year, right?
Say again?
They should be a playoff team, right?
Yeah, at least in the conversation. But yeah, I mean, considering that I don't think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs, I need to see more, but that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. And considering that Yeah, they would be they would have a really good playoff. Oh, especially actually, yeah. Wait, we're talking 7 teams now, right?
Six.
No, they should make the playoffs.
It's 6. It's not 7. It's back to 6 this year.
Is it? Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, because COVID made it 6. They didn't agree to go set the 7, or did they go 7 next this year too?
Rodney, I get that New England will be better, but I want to see who their quarterback's going to be before I decide. That's a good point.
I agree on that because I know it's not Cam Newton. So,
real quick, here's the problem with Flores. He wants to have dual offensive coordinators. How is that going to work?
There's a lot of places that do that. Granted, it's mostly in college, and to your point, Bobby, but generally,
I think Kansas City does it.
That's kind of true, actually. Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, it's only one guy calling the plays, but dual coordinators. It's like it's a planning thing. It's kind of like what I liken it to with what I've seen. Like, let's take UCF and Gus Malzahn's group. They have defensive coordinators. At the end of the day, there's one guy that's going to have the final vote, right?
And that's the head coach. All right, Kyle. Like I said, for me, if Flores goes 3-13 with a healthy team, Cortland's right. I think he's gone because that's just how it works in the NFL with becoming a minority head coach in the NFL.
Well, see, I don't think that's a minority problem in that case, though. As much as I agree that there are issues with minority coaches not getting a fair enough shake, in that instance, hell, that's the kind of thing that would get, what's a good example of a coach? Matt Nagy would get fired. Jeff Fisher would get fired. Would it be enough to get a Bill Belichick fired? Probably not.
The coach of the Cincinnati Bengals still has a job, and I think that coach has won 6 games maybe over the last.
Again, we're back to the expectations thing, though, with the Bengals. I mean, again, I'm not here to tell you that there aren't issues with representation in the coaching staff. That's not what I'm saying. No, I'm saying Miami going 3-13 is a bad example.
No, it's a simple discussion though, and it's something that it's well warranted. So that's nothing it is. Speaking of things that is well warranted, it's time for Mount Rushmore. Yay! It's time for me, Kyle, and Bobby's favorite segment of the show because guess what? Yeah, I know, Bobby. Step out since you put yourself on mute. We'll bring you back in a second. Exactly. We threw him out like the Yankees, all right? We threw him out like the Yankees.
You threw him out. I just sat here and watched you abuse our producer.
Listen, that's exactly what the Yankees are about to do in the regular season of baseball.
Oh, and now you're buying. That's why you don't mess with the producer. That's your fault, Danny Thompson.
All right. So as I was saying before, I was really interrupted by the Yankees. What the hell that was?
Before you got your justice.
Yankee duel last place. All right. It's time for Mount Rushmore. It's Kyle and Bobby's favorite segment of the show that we actually get to talk about something that's always sports or not sports related. Kyle and I'll pick a topic and we do our Mount Rushmore, which are top 4 things that go on in a particular environment. So, Kyle, as we get close to the spring season, Kyle, and it's just a beautiful time outside. I mean, you got the groundhog seeing a shadow, which gives us 6 more weeks of foolishness. But the spring is coming. All right, Kyle, spring is coming. But Kyle, with spring coming, there's always changes in the environment everywhere. Cortland, no one cares about the Yankees and their prospects because the Yankees don't have prospects because they buy their prospects and they sell them.
Hey, at least he didn't bring up the Titans.
Hey, listen, I ain't talking about the Titans tonight. But Kyle, as we get ready for spring and we also get ready for the change of seasons, Kyle, it also is kind of a change of the guard. The NFL's off the picture. But Kyle, one of the things that happens always in life in the springtime, Kyle, is things that we get used to. So being in Florida, being with things to do, Kyle, what is your Mount Rushmore? Because I feel like with Texas opening up the world to everybody with no mask, Kyle, in a perfect world, Kyle, what are your 4 favorite things to do in the springtime?
Like you just mean where there's no football.
Yeah, because no football, Kyle. You have no football to watch. And
what does Kyle do when there's no football? The Mount Rushmore.
A springtime activity.
All right, here we go. Listen, at the end of the day, folks, those who don't know, by day I am an IT professional. That's the thing I do. That's the thing I talk about. And guess what? Every good IT professional, I'm relatively well-versed in Star Wars movies and I play video games. That's right, folks. I'm a gamer, and the time I do it the most is when there's no football. Why? Because it's Saturday and Sunday. I actually have a gaming session set up at 2 p.m. on Saturday to play some Dead by Daylight with my good friends. There you go. I said video games as one of my things on the Mount Rushmore. It's a trap. I said Star Wars. You're right. Next up, at this point, TV is the thing I catch up on. Danny Thompson, you and I have to have a conversation at some point on why The Last Dance and basically NBA fans in general diss Horace Grant so hard when he's a far superior player to Dennis Rodman. Can somebody talk to me and set me straight with this? Because I am getting damn sick of it. So, yeah, catching up on TV series is another thing I do. I haven't finished Homeland yet. I need to get back into that. And, dude, Babylon 5 is on HBO Max. I'm straight up going to take my mom's info and log in to check that piece out when I get some time. So there's that. Third, of course, going to get some time with the kids in that I don't really get over the weekend. Granted, I do spend a lot of time with my kids. I don't leave them behind, but now I get more. And here's this thing. They're pretty cool. So at the end of the day, you know, my son's starting to talk. My daughter, when it's not a pandemic, will go with me to the our favorite retro arcade over here by us, Arcade Monsters. We'll go there and play. I know that counts as a gaming thing too, but we do more than just that all the way around. So definitely family catch-up time is a good thing. And of course, with the kids there too also comes the misses and all of that. Let's be clear. And lastly, Danny Thompson, something I don't normally get to do over the weekend because I'm usually doing sports stuff and football things during football season, actually hanging out with some of my friends. I know it's hard to believe I have friends, but I do. And at the end of the day, when a lot of the traveling is done, we go and see people we know. And I'm going to put traveling / friends as the final piece on the list. Listen, you got a real slice of Kyle's heart in this one, ladies and gentlemen. If you got a problem with it, #YouProblem. Danny Thompson.
Bobby Black, Checkup, New Jersey. What is your Mount Rushmore springtime activities?
Once the weather starts
the perfect world.
Once the weather starts warming up, I like to put the windows down, the moonroof off, drive around blasting music like this. That's one. I like to start heading down to the beach areas and just getting ready for that summer vibe. It's two. I would say shedding clothes is a real big thing in the spring. Mm-hmm. So I'm tired of wearing 9 layers everywhere I go. And you know what? And something a little more on a professional side, taking this show and other shows that I produce and for the network back out into the patio, which I'm looking forward to this year. Big time.
All right. So for me, those are all great answers. So springtime for me is a little bit different because, you know, this will be my first time, you know, without my little one during the springtime. So normally, like to Kyle's point, my first and foremost thing I do best, of course, is spend time with my daughter because this is the time of soccer. So this is the time of coaching soccer and having those, you know, those moments, not just with the little one, but also the group of kids that coach with them at the same time. There's nothing better than Sunday afternoons trying to coach a whole bunch of 6, 7, and 8-year-olds in the game of soccer who are running around, diving in dirt and yelling for their parents, while their parents are telling me why their kids aren't scoring 5 goals in the game. All right. Listen, now I know what an MLS coach feels like. That's all I'm saying. But since I don't have that springtime enjoyment this year, I think the first thing is, in most circumstances, you know, going to concerts is one of my favorite things to do. There's nothing like literally going out and not in the summertime. I said the springtime, especially for outdoors. Indoors, you can do any time of the year, but it's nothing like going to a concert with your favorite artist. I have a multitude of artists I love to go see in different genres that you can just sit back and enjoy the music. You know, being around a whole bunch of people, listening to your favorite songs, and then your song comes on, it's time to dance or do whatever you do at concerts. So that's one. I think number 2 for me, outside of that, is literally cookouts. Nice. It's literally getting out and just having fun with cookouts. Being around friends or family and having, you know, a hamburger, a hot dog, and laughing and playing spades, because there's nothing better than playing spades until you renege, and that's when fights start and everybody goes home at that point because somebody might get punched in the throat. But there's nothing like playing, you know, just having that time with family, you know, at a cookout. I think third on my list, you know, to Kyle's point, there's nothing like playing video games. This time of year, for me, it's MLB The Show. So you have to games I don't play throughout the year, but MLB The Show is the one game I do play. And for me, that's my baseball enjoyment. As much as I love my Mets, the problem is the Mets haven't been competitive outside of June in years. On my MLB The Show season, the Mets win the World Series. Sorry, Mr. Met. It is what it is. All right.
I mean, maybe you put it on easy. That's okay.
The Mets win the World Series regardless what level I put it on, Kyle. Okay. All right. I lead my Mets to the World Series, and so I'm one of the few guys that will play 162 games in MLB The Show.
Good
Sorry,
God.
Precious. Sorry, Precious.
Oh, I'm sure she can find a way to interrupt you.
And last but not least, I think one of the things I have a chance to do more in the springtime, unfortunately, in my case, being covering the NBA, the spring is not really my best time to cover things because mine's normally the summertime. So the springtime, the NBA is still around, but when I'm actually out the house, one of the things I do like to do is, I think to Bobby's point, there's nothing like getting in the car and going for a drive. Like, just doing road trips. I think, Kyle said traveling, Bobby says get in the car, so I'm going to combine both of them. There's nothing like getting in for a day trip. Getting in the car for the afternoon and going someplace different, get up early in the morning, like 5 or 6, drive a few hours to a destination, spend the whole day there and come back that night. Go have lunch or go have, and just have fun. Like it's a drive to the beach. Since I'm not in Florida, it's like I can go to Clearwater if I want to. It's not like I can go to Daytona if I want to, but I can take road trips. I mean, Kyle, we live in Orlando you live in Orlando now, and I've lived there for years. It doesn't take much to drive to Jacksonville for 2 hours. It doesn't take much to drive to Miami. They're day trips you can make and come back. So I love day trips, just getting in the car and just driving and just enjoying the scenery. Now this year, like I said, being in North Carolina is different because I can drive to the mountains and go get some of that mountain air. I can drive the beach if I want to, but it's Myrtle Beach. It's not like Florida beaches. But, I can go up north. I can go down south. I can drive to Virginia. I can drive to South Carolina. No, scratch that. I'll drive to Atlanta. There's nothing in South Carolina. All right. Because Rodney's from South Carolina, so you already polluted the state anyway. Ugh. All right. So, Bobby, what do we have in the chat, Bobby?
We got some pretty interesting comments here.
Okay. I mean, Courtney, you know what? You got soccer in Nashville now, so it does exist.
Spring doesn't exist. I mean, I get his point, though. I mean, I will give golf an honorable mention as a Floridian, but
Mike DeSantis.
You do that in the spring, do you? I mean, I guess that's called spring cleaning. Okay.
I don't know. No, Rodney, but by the way, I picked up your New Kids on the Block tickets. Okay. I'll bring it to you tomorrow.
All right. Merciful and said Lincoln Park.
No, it was a New Kids on the Block and and Debbie Gibson concert. He wanted me to buy tickets for, so I had to go I got to take him his tickets tomorrow for him and his wife. Okay, that's traveling, no problem. Now the second part, Rodney, I can understand, Rodney, because you're talking like you beat Kyle in the 40 race. But Kyle, go ahead and continue because I know you have something to say about that.
No, I mean, procreate, that's part of catching up with the family. The wife is part of the family. He's got a point. And I mentioned going to the bar, so he's got drinking beer. He's got cookouts on the grill. I'd hate to tell you this, Danny Thompson, but that's a strong representation by our favorite troll this evening.
I mean, you got to think the fake care about exercise as well, too, because he swears well up and down he can win a 40 contest.
I mean, he's just saying that so he's going to try to intimidate me, and that's just not going to happen because I know I can take him any day of the week. Just bring that heat.
Like I said, and Rodney, Charleston, listen, Rodney, you're the reason why South Carolina is South Carolina. All right? It's the lower of the two Carolinas, okay?
Oh, no, here we go.
That's why the joke on Saturday Night Live was to combine the Carolinas into one Super Carolina, as LeVar Ball said on Saturday Night Live. Ironically, for those who not watch LeVar Ball, Kenan Thompson played LeVar Ball on Saturday Night Live, and Bobby and Kyle sent it to you. It was arguably the funniest minute and a half that they've had on Saturday Night Live in a while. He mentioned the fact of LeVar, because talking about LaMelo Ball and how not only is he Rookie of the Year, also that Charlotte Gastonia is the gate. Charlotte's the gateway to Gastonia, but LaMelo Ball also won first place in the Mecklenburg County Pig Contest as well too.
Hashtag talent.
I
am here, Rodney. I am here.
Now, mind you, Bobby, when you have to film this. So when you film this and you bring your camera crew down there, remember to grab the sundial.
Remember to grab.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be in Atlanta in May for the WABA league owners meeting. So maybe we could arrange something that weekend. Everybody kind of meet in Atlanta. We'll get this on film.
I mean, listen, if I'm inoculated, Rodney's in trouble.
Listen, all I know is I don't think Rodney wants to go to Atlanta because he's going to want some wings. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Hi.
Real quick, I do have a Mount Rushmore request.
All right.
And maybe for next week, I'll get everybody a chance to marinate a little bit about this.
Oh, no, then I can't listen. Hold on. Yeah.
No. I want to say it.
Because I'm not supposed to know, Bobby. That's the shit.
No. I want people to research this because this could be a really awesome topic. It was kind of mentioned today on sports radio that I was trying to jump on the radio to these hosts on WFAN. This was part of the conversation. Your Mount Rushmore of sexy, attractive female cartoon characters.
This sounds like a trap. This sounds like the FBI is going to be assigned to listen to that episode, and I'm in big trouble.
Captain Arab, where are you at this one?
Admiral Akbar. That's right.
No, because I guess they released videos, pictures of the new Space Jam, and the girl's supposed to look very androgynous, I guess.
Yeah, Lola Bunny. Yeah, I've seen that.
First of all, the first Space Jam sucked. I don't know why everybody's so hyped. That's right, I said it. Handle the truth, Danny Thompson. Handle the truth. Where is Nathan R. Jessup? You need to handle the truth.
Bobby, mute him, please. Did you just sit here and try to? Did you just say Space Jam is blasphemy on this air? Are you crazy? I have let you get away a lot. I'll let you get away a lot of slander on this show, but you will not slander the GOAT on this show. The two goats you will not slander. Yes, two goats. I said two. The GOAT of basketball and the GOAT of cartoons. You will not slander either one on this airway.
Stop it.
Bugs Bunny is the GOAT, sir.
Stop it.
Who's better than Bugs Bunny?
Stop it. First of all, I'm glad you're at least smart enough to know that Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Okay? We haven't gone AWOL on that yet.
I've never changed that opinion.
No, I know. I'm just making sure that the world knows that you are that enlightened. Space Jam, listen, if it wasn't for Bill Murray, that movie would be pointless. I'm just saying. What does that even mean? Are we talking about how I put 49 on you in a basketball game if we played, Rodney? Is that what you mean?
I'm saying this. You will not slander Bugs Bunny in this airway, sir.
I didn't say a thing about Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny is the GOAT.
Michael Jackson. Michael Jordan is a horrible actor. I'm sorry. He did a horrible job in it. The whole reaching for the basketball and him lengthening was terrible animation, even in the day. And oh my God, if you're getting stars of the NBA, how the hell did you think Sean Bradley was a good idea? Get the hell out my face, Danny.
Sean Bradley, you got to think the Monstars, they had a tall, lanky guy.
Stop
that was
it.
Sean Bradley.
I get it. Why is he there?
It's a tall, lanky monster. What more do you want?
So it's for the kids. At any moment, he's going to start calling me sir, and I'm going to know I've won the argument.
No, you're not winning this one. All I'm saying is, why didn't you? Luke Ball wasn't playing at the time, Bobby.
I think and then George Mirasan still wasn't in it either. But
he was doing the other movie where he was playing a giant in that movie.
Oh yeah, My Giant with Billy Crystal
from Charleston.
Bill Murray. Listen, Bill Murray makes that movie, and Newman helps. That's about it.
Bugs Bunny was phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah, he's all right. It's not his best work. I'm not complaining about Bugs Bunny.
You know what, Mike? Yes. Mount Rushmore of cartoon characters is next week. Yes, there we go, Mike. Very good topic. Because if Bugs Bunny is not your Mount Rushmore, Kyle, I'm muting you.
You know, this is one of the issues with being a co-host.
That you're going to get muted for not picking Bugs Bunny?
I mean, you know.
To not understand the greatness of Bugsby Bunny, you are nuts.
Sir, first of all, you need to take that butt out my face with this, okay? I didn't say a word bad about Bugs Bunny, okay? Matter of fact, that's only another thing put against. Oh, stop it, Rodney. The only thing
you don't have it there, okay?
All right, so get back to my point though. Who is the most attractive female cartoon character of all time? Just name one. Who do you think? What comes to your head?
Jessica Rabbit.
I was probably going to say the same thing.
Nope.
Uh-oh. Bobby's had a dissertation on this, but go ahead, Bobby.
It's got to be, without a doubt, Lana from Archer.
I mean, she's in the conversation. I'll still take Jessica Rabbit first.
What?
First of all, like, hell hath no fury like Lana. All right, let's be clear. All right, I don't want to be in the danger zone when it comes to her. That's just a bad place to be. All right, pretty sure she could whoop my butt. I mean, Rodney's got a good point. He's got a good point.
This has really gone left.
By the way, I tried to tell you all it was a trap. Okay.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, enough of that. I think Lana from Archer is by far the,
No, it's not a bad choice.
Josie the Pussycats. Back then, Josie, but no. Lana, Archer, no doubt.
You could have come with something worse. You have in the past.
Oh, no. Someone did come with something worse. Bobby, check the comments, please.
Oh, God. Now I'm scared.
That one or the other one?
Oh, that's the one.
Granny? Who the hell is that?
From Looney Tunes.
Cortland, hey, listen, in her day, Cortland, fine, but I mean, like, you're trying to break hips, man. Don't do that.
Cortland's talking about dating Golden Girls now. All right, we're out of here. He's also going to say that from the Golden Girls. What's the mother?
Blanche.
No, not Blanche. The mother, Sophia.
Sophia.
Sophia. Cortland's like a Sophia type picker. All right, Bobby, any shout outs before we go?
Yes, shout out to my boy Miles Powell, who's about to be signed by the Milwaukee Bucks on a 2-way contract.
All right.
I'm happy for him, and I'm happy that I don't have to buy Knicks jersey.
That's an excellent point.
Kyle, any shout outs?
Listen, man, I'm going to give a shout out to once again to the educators here in the nation, more specifically in Florida, that helped me here. My daughter went back to face-to-face school. She is coming up on completing her second week of that on Friday. And just thankful for all that they've done in the pandemic, doing what they've done to support us by teaching kids face-to-face, putting themselves at risk, and also finding a way to then continue to find capacity somehow to do it for those of us that stayed remote to try to stay safe. So, yeah, props to educators across the nation during the pandemic.
Big shout outs to everybody who stopped by the show tonight. Rodney, Cortland, Mike DeSantis, Sean Johnson for stopping through.
Oh, yeah.
Alex
Fleming, if you didn't say it already.
Yeah, Alex Fleming. Big shout out to Alex Fleming, and check out their show. I think it's about to go on right now. And also to my other half, Precious. Happy birthday, sweetie. I'm not going to say her age on the show because that's a fight waiting to happen. All right.
No, she's obviously 25, Danny Thompson. You can tell the world that.
I mean, I will say that, but obviously she'll probably punch me in the throat. You never
right in the throat.
Mike, hey, listen, Mike, we appreciate you getting healthy and being back in our comment section, because Mike's always putting very, very fun comments and very, very knowledgeable comments, except the man of the crowd noise. All right. And my shout outs for this week is basically the people I'm going to yell at. Okay, first of all, I got a couple of them. Number one, the Charlotte Hornets ticket prices I'm going to start with first. For those who did not see my Facebook post, who don't follow me on Facebook, I'm sorry about that. But the Charlotte Hornets released their ticket prices today for their 3,000 fans. And the Los Angeles Lakers tickets, Kyle, start at $450 per ticket, sitting in the lower level, and you got to buy 4 seats. That's $2,000 to see LeBron James, LaMelo Ball. And that's face value. I can only imagine what StubHub looks like tomorrow. Other people I want to say shout outs to. I cannot wait for Coming to America tonight, too. Coming to America, the second movie, yes. Bobby, I'm sorry. Kyle's sorry. I'm going to watch it regardless.
I mean, no. It's not that I have a problem with you watching it. I'm going to watch it. I'm trying to limit your expectations. When you're disappointed, I will be here to give you a hug, big guy. I got you.
Listen, I'm not going to be having the feeling of Panther fans when I told them that Teddy Bridgewater was going to suck this year.
No, that's me trying to tell you Teddy Bridgewater would suck in this analogy.
By the way, did you hear that most of the film was most of the filming of Coming to America was on Rick Ross's estate
in Atlanta. Yes,
That's kind of funny.
Which is one of the largest estates I've ever seen in the world. I mean, man, I think it's like a 214-room mansion. Like, this man literally has his own city in his own house.
21 bathrooms.
Basically, a big shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, we appreciate all the love, support, and everybody stopping through, liking, share, tagging, everything else. Rodney, you already know journalists don't get paid. We don't get money like that. We need a PS5. Listen, Rodney, I don't care what game it is, Rodney. It could be on an Xbox, PlayStation, ColecoVision. You ain't touching me in no video game, sir.
Woo!
Not a chance. I'll go live.
ColecoVision.
I'll go to Rodney's house and drag him in Madden. And
right after I beat him in the 40.
No, I'm gonna make Rodney drink 40s afterwards. All right. Cortland, always big love to you, bro, my bro. Like I said, we're gonna do a haps and get you on the air this week, talking NBA since the deadline. So for myself, Kyle, Bobby, everybody stay safe out there. Please do not follow the orders of Texas and wear a freaking mask, y'all. Catch you guys on Thursday for Beyond the Buzzer. Hopefully, we won't be canceled by then. Catch you guys later. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Peace.
Sexy.